any case, I guess I'm gonna end up doing this by myself, even though I want Anna to be on. But if you really want to get her input, then you definitely have to tune in to this week's episode of the Empowerment Hour. And for those of you who have not yet checked this out or checked me out, like, what are you waiting for? I've already done 76 episodes. Okay, so that's a lot of content that you guys have to kind of catch up on. I also have a separate page for the podcast, which is the Empowerment Hour. So if you're not already following that page, make sure after this live to head on over, click that follow button, and then once you're there, click on the link, and then make sure that you're subscribing to the Empowerment Hour. Hi, Peggy. Make sure that you're subscribed to the Empowerment Hour. We are on iTunes podcast for all of my iPhone users. If you're an Android user, you can listen directly from the internet on your phone. So whatever your browser is, just head over to www.blogtalkradio.com/empowerher. So the point is to get you connected, get you subscribed so that you never miss an episode. And I have really great content. So if you are in the business of trying to rebrand yourself or to start a brand or try to monetize your side hustle, if you're trying to discover what your passion is, what your purpose is, if you're trying to juggle the dynamics of being a full-time career woman with being a full-time mom and wife, I got you covered, because I am all of these things and I'm managing to do all of these things successfully. Now, not saying that it's easy, because by no means is it easy. At times it's really exhausting. But you know what? When you're committed to something, when you're passionate about what you do, and when you know that what you're doing is providing value to other people, that's what kind of keeps you motivated. At least that's what keeps me motivated. So enough about that. Let's get into the purpose of this live. So this week, Anna and myself, we are recapping our time in Miami last week because we attended the Hispanicize event. And if you're not familiar with Hispanicize and you're Latino, then shame on you. Because if you're into social media, if you're into journalism, if you're into content creation, Hispanicize is an event that you definitely should be attending. They have it every year. Next year, they will be celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So you know it's going to be on and popping, and I will be there. But in any case, Anna and I were both there this year for the first time, and it was probably better than what I had expected. There were so many people, you guys, just from all over the country. There were people from LA, people from, Florida, from New York, from New Jersey, from other parts of the country. And I felt like I was like in a room with my family, my closest friends, because it didn't even feel like we were strangers. As ironic as that may seem, Latin America too, look, who knew? And yes, make sure that you guys are connected with Urban Jibaro and that you're following him, because he is the man to know in social media, okay? Like, if you want to get your social media popping, if you want to develop your brand, increase your online presence, like, he is the go-to person. And I say that anyone that's in social media, if you don't know who George is, then you're not really in social media, because he's the one that you should be knowing. But back to what I was saying. So Hispanicize was this really big event, but as big as it was, it really fostered just like community. And I don't know if that's because Latino culture is just that way, or because everyone there that goes there is going for the same purpose, right? And that's to connect and to really build relationships with each other. And I know that sometimes when we attend these networking events and these conferences, especially if we go alone and we don't really know anyone, we find ourselves out of our element, and it can be really challenging to make those connections. For someone like me, it's not that hard because I have an outgoing personality. I mean, I can sit here and talk to my screen and be perfectly fine. I can be in front of, a large audience and still able to communicate. But there are some people who really get anxiety when they're put in those types of situations. So the purpose of this live and the purpose of the episode this week on the Empowerment Hour was to just share a few tips for those of you who may be a little shy, who may be a little introverted, to help you kind of break out of your shell so that you get the most out of your networking experience. And the reason why I wanted to do this podcast was, one, because someone had sent me a message kind of asking, what were some tips that we could share, because although she really wasn't shy, sometimes she finds herself in situations where she's not as outgoing as she would like, and that sometimes she misses out on opportunities to connect with really amazing people. And so I was like, you know what? This is definitely something that I want to share, because I know that there are many people who kind of have those same types of experiences. So if you're that person that kind of struggles with connecting with people, I think the main thing that you can really do, like when going into these events, is to go with a goal. Like, what is the purpose, first of all, for you attending this event, right? So is it to build your business? Is it you're seeking a job opportunity? Make sure that you are really clear on what your purpose is, because once you have that kind of down, then it helps you a little bit, maneuver a little bit better with the people in the room. And so for Hispanicize, it was really easy because there were so many other people that were really outgoing. So if you were that person that was really shy or really introverted, Hispanicize is the perfect place for you, because people are literally just walking up to you, looking at your tag and saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, who are you, what do you do? And so it's really that simple. It's really just introducing yourself. And sometimes instead of having that urge to tell people who you are, try to solicit information about who they are, what they're passionate about, why they are at the conference, and what they're seeking to get out of it. Because in that communication, they may reveal something to you that may click with you. You may have something in common, or you may find that you very well may be in the position to help that person achieve whatever goal they have set for themselves in attending that conference. I think another, and I'm not going to give you all the tips because the purpose of this live is for you to go on the podcast and listen and really get all of the jewels and gems that we dropped in that episode. This is really just a preview. And one of the things that Anna spoke about on the episode was the importance of being prepared. And she says that she is always over prepared, meaning that she invests a lot of time in what she does. And if you guys are not familiar with her, she is a host. She is, girl, what do you do? I mean, I know you're an on-air talent for Telemundo. She also does voiceovers. I mean, she's really in entertainment, and her goal, her passion, is to one day, I think she says, host the Oscars. So that gives you a little insight about what she does. And so she's always preparing for those moments where she might be called, right, to host something or to interview someone. And that is exactly what happened at Hispanicize. A chance encounter, her doing a Facebook Live. She was pulled in to kind of fill in the host role because there was someone there from a media channel who was like a cameraman, but he didn't have a host, and he needed someone to interview one of the celebrities that were in attendance. So honey, Anna was there ready to go. And so this is what she means when she talks about being over-prepared. So for the fact that she knew who the celebrity was, the fact that she had grew up listening to his music, had really put her in the position to say, you know what, I can do this. And so you never know when your skills are going to be called upon. So you have to be ready. And there's no such thing as knowing too much or being too prepared. It's better to be over-prepared than be under-prepared, because when you're not prepared, that's when you miss out on opportunities, and you can very well miss out on the biggest opportunity of your life. So make sure that you go with the goal, make sure that you're prepared. And let me see, Anna and you both should be hosting. Yes, absolutely, George. And I am relying on you to make that happen, because I already mentioned it to Manny while I was there. And he said, well, you know what? Talk to George and let him handle it. So this is me officially telling you, let's handle it. Let's get it popping. And I would love to do something with Anna. How amazing would that be? So guys, I'm really going to end the live now because I don't want to give you too much information, but I would encourage you to head over to the Empowerment Hour, listen to this week's episode, leave your feedback, leave a comment, and please share it with your friends, share it with your network. I'm really engaged with my listeners and with all of you who support me. So if you shoot me a message, I respond. And if you have any recommendations for future topics or things that you would like for me to discuss, just shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, and I will get that on my calendar. So thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, mi gente, go out there and crush some goals.